The Espada are Sosuke Aizen's most powerful soldiers in Bleach, all of them being powerhouse Arrancar, who agreed to fight for Aizen's cause and take on Soul Society in battle. All 10 Espada are full-blown villains, but some of them are more like morally neutral rogues, while others rank among the nastiest, most depraved anime villains of all. Regardless of the number of fracciones at their disposal, all the Espada vary widely in terms of motivation, backstory, and, most importantly, strength. And in today's video, we will talk about the 10 strongest Espada in Bleach and ranked them according to their strength. Number 10. Arono Aruru, Espada 9th. Unlike the other Espada, Arono Aruru delights in giving his opponents false hope before dashing their dreams against reality. The main example was his duel against Rukia Kuchiki, when he wore the face of Kaien Shiba to fool Rukia and apply serious psychological pressure. Arono technically has the potential to become the strongest Espada from his ability to consume other hollows and Arrancars, effectively stealing their powers. As a gluttonous being, Arono viewed himself as the ultimate predator, but got sloppy in released mode. Despite his strength and combat prowess, Arono died when Rukia stabbed his head with her icy Zanpakuto since he let his guard down. Arono may have eaten 33,650 hollows to power up as a humble Gillian-class Menos, but he never realized his true potential, so he ranks last among the 10 Espadas. Number 9. Sayap Poro Grans, Espada 8th. Sayap Poro. Grants may not be overpowered, but he was easily the cruelest of the Espada, being the Arrancar counterpart to Captain Mayuri Kurotsuchi of Squad 12. Bleach lore says that Sayap Poro became a Vasto Lord, only to reset his evolution by deliberately powering down so he could redo his hollow evolution according to his designs. It's possible that, given enough time, Sayap Poro would have risen in the ranks with newer, stronger powers and techniques and gain a higher Espada ranking. In the main story of Bleach, Sayap Poro was a resourceful fighter who used spirit insects to spy on his enemies, like Renji and Uryu, then devise countermeasures to nullify their powers. His sealed form alone was enough to challenge Renji and Uryu together, but his released form nearly killed them for real until Mayuri Kurotsuchi arrived to save the day. Number 8. Zomari Ruro, Espada 7th. What is known of Zomari's history shows that while he may not feel remorse for those he kills, he is willing to respect them in their defeat. This was shown through his attitude toward finishing off Rukia after her debilitating battle against Arono Aruru. Even so, Zomari will stoop to dirty tactics if he can get away with it. He can also use Gemelos Sonido, an ultra-fast technique that can create after-images of himself to fool his enemies. Zomari can create up to 5 bodies that way, and those body doubles will even bleed when struck. In his fight against Byakuya Kuchiki, Zomari used his controlling eyes to manipulate Rukia's unconscious body, making her attack Hanataro Yamada with her blade. Against Byakuya Kuchiki, however, Zomari didn't stand a chance even after he forced Byakuya to slash his own arm and leg. Number 7. Grimjow Jaegerjaques, Espada 6th. Grimjow Jaegerjaques introduced himself early in the Arrancar saga as the impulsive and aggressive 6th Espada, who made it his personal mission to find and kill Ichigo Kurosaki, no matter what Ulquiora or Aizen said. Across the span of 3 different fights, Grimjow established himself as Ichigo's shonen-style rival, a rivalry that brought out the best in both of them. Grimjow was brutal and selfish like most Arrancars, but he did show an honorable side, too. He saved Orihime from Loli and Manoli bullying her, and wanted Orihime to fully heal Ichigo so the final fight would be a fair one. In battle, Grimjow pushed Ichigo to the limit with his extraordinary agility, power, and predatory cunning, with or without his released mode. He was also the first Espada seen firing the Gran Ray Kero, a bigger and stronger version of a regular Kero blast. Number 6. Noi Tora Gilga, Espada 5th. Noi Tora Gilga was once Espada 8th when he feuded bitterly with his stronger rival, Neliel tu Odelshwank. Out of sheer frustration, Noitora conspired with Sayap Poro to ambush and injure Neliel, then abandon her in Hueco Mundo's desolate desert sands. Noitora eventually rose to 5th, though he still aimed to become 1st and claimed to crush anyone who got in his way. He boasted formidable skill with his double crescent Zanpakuto, Santa Teresa, able to easily keep up with an exhausted Ichigo's Bankai and keep pace with Kenpachi Zaraki, even when the latter had his eye patch off. Noitora also fought dirty in Bleach, trying to finish off a badly injured Grimjow and not caring that Ichigo Kurosaki was wounded and exhausted during their brutal sword fight. Even Kenpachi Zaraki found it initially difficult to defeat the 5th Espada, at least until he used both his hands with kendo. Number 5. Tyr Harel, Espada 3rd. Tyr Harel was introduced as the calm and confident 3rd Espada, a noble warrior who viewed her 3 fracciones not as disposable minions, but as foster sisters, a rare sentiment among the Espadas. She watched Grimjow fight Ichigo without interfering, then journeyed to the replica Karakura town to fight Aizen's enemies. In particular, Harel went up against Captain Toshiro Hitsugaya and a few of the Vicereds. Harel demonstrated extraordinary swordsmanship, easily keeping up with the famously talented Hitsugaya. She could even charge her hollow Zanpakuto with a Sero blast to perform a unique combo strike. After Aizen's downfall, Harel became Hueco Mundo's queen, only to fall to Yuach when the Wandenreich muscled in. Still, no matter her eventual defeat, Harel ranks in the middle among the strongest Espadas as a true powerhouse. Number 4. Baragan Luisenbairn, Espada 2nd. Before Sosuke Aizen arrived, the mighty Baragan Luisenbairn ruled all of Hueco Mundo as its uncontested king, a status he eventually found dull and meaningless. Then Aizen dethroned him and appointed him the 2nd Espada, fueling Baragan's deep resentment. For a time, though, Baragan did whatever Aizen asked of him, including fighting the Soul Reapers. Baragan sent his 6 fracciones into battle, then took over the fight against Soifon and Marechio Omaeda. Even when fighting solo, Baragan was overwhelmingly powerful with his death aura, which could rapidly age and rot away anything, organic or not. He only lost when Hachigin Ushoda of the 8 Vicereds teleported his rotting hand inside Baragan to dissolve the 2nd Espada from within. Number 3. Yami Yargo, Espada 0. Yami Yargo first appeared alongside Ulquiora Cypher early in the Arrancar saga, though he made a poor showing of himself as a large and oafish Arrancar warrior. Later, he fought a losing battle against Kisuke Urahara, but when the Hueco Mundo arc was wrapping up, Yami finally showed his true power, which took everyone by surprise. He's one of only 2 Espadas seen firing Seros from the mouth, the other being Noitora Gilga, who more specifically shoots Seros from his tongue. When Yami released his Zanpakuto, Ira, he became a giant creature with the number 0 rather than 10, perhaps to signify that his released mode has 0 limits to its size, strength, and anger. Yami could get stronger and stronger according to his rage, but in the end, not even that saved him. He lost off-screen to Kenpachi and Byakuya. Number 2. Coyote Stark, Espada 1st. Coyote Stark was comedically lazy and carefree when he first appeared in Bleach, and he didn't even want to seriously fight Captains Ukitake and Kyoraku when they crossed paths at the fake Karakura town. Reluctantly, Stark fought them anyway, and demonstrated unbelievable speed and cunning as a warrior attuned to his sharp instincts. He was the one who intercepted Orihime in an eye blink to take her back to Sosuke Aizen when ordered to. In all likelihood, Stark has the 2nd fastest sonido behind Zomari. Unusually among the Arrancars, Stark contained his released form not in his Zanpakuto, but in his sole fraccione, Lilynet Gingerbuck. His released form transformed him into a gunslinger with 2 bulky pistols that could rapidly fire blue Sero blasts. And he could also summon a large pack of explosive spirit wolves. It took repeated efforts from Bleach's strongest warriors to finally defeat him, proving why he was given the rank 1. But despite being number 1, Stark was overshadowed by one other Espada. Number 1, Ulquiora, Espada 4th. Despite being 4th, many fans argue that Ulquiora was the strongest Espada in Bleach. And he probably is when everything is taken into account. While his primary resurrection was unquestionably potent, he also had a secret ability at his disposal. Ulquiora could release his Zanpakuto a second time, spawning a slender, demonic form known as the Segunda Etapa. Its power was so immense that it dwarfed even the gargantuan building of Las Noches. Ulquiora managed to kill Ichigo in this form, although the hero eventually returned to life and practically vaporized the Espada's Segunda Etapa. Interestingly, Ulquiora never showed his Segunda Etapa to Sosuke Aizen, meaning Aizen misjudged Ulquiora's power when assigning the Espadas their numbers. If Aizen did know of Ulquiora's overwhelming power in his true form, then Ulquiora probably would have been the first Espada after all, narrowly edging out Coyote Stark. Based on that, Bleach fans can say Ulquiora is the strongest Espada of them all.